If you're someone who feels overwhelmed the second you open a video editing app on your iPhone, don't worry, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to show you the simplest and the fastest way to edit amazing videos on your phone, but also give you a complete universal system that you can use in literally any video editing tool or app. So this is the exact blueprint that we use for every video we edit with zero wasted time or rework. But the thing that most people get wrong is they think that video editing is all about adding things in. They jump straight in and add in music, or they try to find a cool filter or flashy effects and transitions. But in most cases, that's only going to slow you down and add to your frustration. That's like trying to put icing and sprinkles on the cake before you've even baked it. So the real secret to fast, efficient video editing isn't about what you add in, it's about what you remove first. And the best way to do that is with a system we developed called the Primal video method. And it's something we've been teaching here on YouTube for years. We've put together a free PDF guide and also an AI prompt that you can download and use, and it will take you through step by step how to edit in your given tool or app. So there's a link for that down in the description, or you can scan the QR code on screen now. Now I'm going to take you through those same steps in this video to show you how to edit. The tool that I'm going to be taking you through is called VN Video Editor. It's an amazing app on iPhone. It works on Android and Mac as well. And the free version of it is absolutely insane. This is one of my top rated apps. But also again, the process that I'm taking you through, whether you use VN or not, will work on any app or any software out there. So follow this process and do these things in the same order. So I'm on the iPhone now and I got VN Video Editor open. We want to go ahead and we want to create a new project. So that's step number one, create a project. So to do that here, we're going to hit the plus button down the bottom right, and then we're going to choose new project. We're going to leave video based here selected, and we're going to hit save. This is going to start our project. Now from there, you want to pick your main video file that you want to edit. You might be using multiple files. We're just going to pick the main one, the first one, the primary clip here first, and that's going to allow us to set up our project based on that first clip. So we're going to pick this clip here, and I'm going to hit the blue arrow down the bottom right to progress this through. So our project now in this app, and a lot of other tools and things as well, is now set up based on the settings of that first clip. So we can see because this is a portrait video, it's already defaulted to a portrait project for us. Now, if we want to change this up in the top middle where it says original, we can press on that and we can choose the type of video we want to create. So if we wanted to convert this to a widescreen video, or we wanted to make a different format, we would just pick that here from the options. I'm going to leave this here as original. But you can see we can also adjust the frames per second down the bottom here as well. Again, by default, this should all be set right. So we can hit the tick to apply that. So what we've got here then is our main editing interface. Up the top, we can see the video that we are editing. So you can see as we tap and scrub across the bottom here, that will play through. We can play this back in full screen by hitting the little maximize button here. So this is a great way to preview your edit before you save it out in full screen. Let's go back. But then you can also see our main timeline here is broken down into different layers for different types of things we can bring down. So right now we have a video track, one video track here, which has one video clip in it. Down below that, we can see the audio that's associated with that. And then above that, we've got the option here. It says add to add a sticker, or PIP, that's picture in picture. So if we want to add a video layer on top, we could do that there. We've got a dedicated layer for subtitles, and we've got a dedicated layer there for music as well. And again, this will make more sense as we go through. But at this point, the first thing that we want to do isn't to start editing. We actually want to jump across to the very end of the video, and you can see that we have this extra little clip here in our timeline. We have the clip that we brought in, and we've got this extra little title card that says VN. Now, CapCut does this as well, and so do other video editing tools. We want to remove that. It's not needed. We don't need to have that in our final video. So it's a good idea to remember to do this up front, to select on that and then press delete, and it's gone from our video. So now from here, this is where we're going to build our cake, to build out the foundations of our edit here, which is editing down this primary footage before we get caught up in making it look pretty. So we're going to come back to our clip here now. I'm going to run through the couple of different ways that we can use to trim down this video, to remove all the bad takes, all the stuff that we actually don't want in there. So if we scrub through this now, I'm just tapping on the phone here and swiping across, we can see that there's almost like this little pause at the start. Gee, I look terrible. Between where I've pressed record and when I actually start speaking. So we want to remove that, and there's a couple of different ways to do this. We can just find the place where we actually want this clip to start, and we can press the pair of scissors down the bottom here, split. If you're not seeing the scissors, then tap on the clip and then the scissors will appear. So we can now see we have 2 clips here in our timeline. We obviously don't want the first one, so we can just press the delete button there and it's gone. So our video now starts from this point. Now, if I undo that by hitting the little undo button up here, let's do undo again. Another way that we can remove the start here is if we tap on our clip, you can see that we get this other mode we've entered into, this trim mode. And you can see that we've got these yellow handles on the sides of both the start and the end of the clip. So if I press on that and then drag across, I can just adjust where we want this to start. And our video now is going to start at that point. So likewise, if we come across to the very end here, you can see that I finish speaking and then I just look awkward while I reach up and press the stop recording button. We obviously don't want that piece on the end. So again, we could use either of those 2 methods. We could come to the end here where I want this to stop. We could add a split by using the scissors. We could select that second clip and we could delete it. Or again, if I just undo this and go back in time, we could also just select the clip and grab the end of the clip there and drag it back. And our video is now going to finish at that point. So this works exactly the same if we want to take something out of the middle. And a great little pro tip here, just below the video track, where you can see all these little thumbnail images of me, down the bottom we have our audio waveform. So the visual representation of what I'm saying in this video. So we can see the parts where I'm talking and we can see the parts where I'm not. So right here, this flat line, not speaking. So it's a good indication that we're going to want to remove that piece. So I love that you can visually see this stuff to quickly edit, and it's a really powerful thing in VN and other tools too. So we can just add a cut here at this point. And then I could come back here and let's just remove that silence bit. Let's click and drag until about there. So we already know we don't need that because I'm not speaking at that point. So the idea now is you want to go through, remove all the bad takes, all the mistakes, so that you're just left with the main stuff. So now that you've got these little chunks of video down the bottom here, if you want to reorder them, you want to pick them up and move them around, it's as simple as long pressing on one. So let's tap on this one. We can pick it up and we can place it here anywhere in the video. Now from there, the next piece of building this cake before we get bogged down in all the effects and that kind of stuff is to bring in any B-roll or overlay footage. What do we want to show on top of, in this case, me speaking here? So this is where we can press on where it says tap to add sticker/PIP. And you can see we've got options here to bring in photos, elements, shapes, and different graphics and things that you can see that we've got access to in here already built into the app. So there's subscribe buttons, there's arrows, all kinds of things in here. Down the bottom, you've also got Giphy access as well. So if there's any GIFs or GIFs you want to bring in here, then we can search for those and add those into our video easily too. But I'm going to come back here and I'm going to choose to add in it says photos, but it's videos as well. Okay, we'll pick this clip here. So we can see already that it's added this as a layer on top of our bottom video. So some tools will automatically scale this up to full screen for you. You can see in the case here, we've got this clip sitting on top. It's not full screen, but we can just pinch to zoom to scale that up to full screen. Or if we wanted to have it smaller, we can pinch that down, we can rotate it, we can move it wherever we'd like. So you can see how easy this is. Let's maximize that back up. And we can see now we have this extra clip here in our timeline. Now, just like the main clips, we can tap to select it. We can press and hold on it to pick it up and move to where we want to actually have it in the video here. And we've also got those handles on here. So we can adjust the start time, we can adjust the end time. So maybe I'll shorten this up a bit here. And we could also add cuts. So maybe we want half the clip here at the start. Let's split it. You'll see now we've got 2 of these clips, and let's move the other one here further down in our video, maybe down here somewhere. So the idea now is you want to go through and add in all of your B-roll, your overlay clips, because this is really the foundation of what it is we're creating here. And once that's done, this is where we can start to put some icing on the cake. So we can bring in things like text and titles next. So I'm going to come back to the start of our video here, and I'm going to press on this T here where it says tap to add subtitles. So it's subtitles, but it's also regular titles too. It's going to give us the option here. Do we want to create titles or do we want to import subtitles from an SRT or a subtitle file? I'm going to create a title. And then you can see we've got a bunch of different presets. We can just use the top ones here, add a heading, a subheading, or body text. Or you'll see if we scroll down, there is a lot of different titles and things that we can use. Some of them are animated. Some of them look like text messages and things. Let's come down here. You can see we've got some fancier looking ones down here as well. All of these are fully customizable in the app. Keep coming down. Some fancy looking stickers and titles and things on here. For this video, I'm just going to keep things simple. Let's come back up and maybe we'll use this holiday one. So I'll just tap on that, and that's already now been brought down into our timeline as its own layer. So as its own layer, even though we haven't typed in what we want yet, we can again pick it up, we can move it around, we can adjust how long we want to have this on screen. So maybe I'll stretch this out a little bit longer so it's on screen for more. And then for us to edit it, we can either tap on it up the top in our preview window, or I can just press the edit button there and we can just type in what we want. Let's go Justin B. Right, so you see then we've got a whole lot of customization options for fonts, for different sizes and styles, different colors. And there's also so many presets and things that we can use for this as well. So we could change the text color, stroke, shadow, background. So a whole lot of customization in here to get this looking the way that you want. I'm gonna hit the tick, that will do for now. And then we can position this title wherever we want it. So I've just tapped on it and I'm moving this box around to where we want the text, maybe something like this. And then if we play through this now,
Resolve Studio has an amazing AI.
You'll see that that text comes through, it's animated in really, really fast. So you'll go through now, add in any text or titles into your entire video. Then from there, we can add in any transitions and then start to get into the effects and things too. So if we want to add a transition in our video here, you'll see on our primary video layer where we've got these splits here in our timeline, we have the little plus symbol between them. So we can just press on this and then we can add a transition or an effect between those two clips. So maybe we could pick here like a flash to white. It's going to give us a preview. There's lots of different ones, like a zoom here. You can scroll across and go pretty crazy with this stuff. Now I would say use this sparingly. It's also a quick way to make your videos look very unprofessional if you're just adding in star wipes and stuff all the time. So let's just go a fade to white or a dip to white. We can choose how fast or slow that is with the duration down the bottom here. So we can make that quicker, like a camera flash. And then to apply that, we can just hit the tick button. There's also the option to apply to all. I probably wouldn't recommend that because every little cut in your timeline is then going to have this effect applied. So we can now see that that is applied here in the timeline. It's changed from a plus to that effect. Now, if we want to remove that or make changes to it, we can just tap on it again in the timeline and we could choose none to remove that if we wanted to. So in the case of a video like this, where it's just a talking head, me talking to camera, I wouldn't normally run a transition between two clips that are pretty much the same. Instead, what I would do is either leave it, perfectly fine for YouTube and social media, if there's just a little cut, or I would zoom in on one of the clips. So let's just pick, could be any of the clips here, maybe this one in the middle, and I would just come up to the top area here and I'd tap on it to select it, and then we can just pinch to zoom to make this bigger. And we can pick it up, we can move it around. And now if we have a look and we scrub through here, so I'm talking on the wide shot, we then hit this cut and it's zoomed in for this next clip. And then at the next cut, it's zoomed back out. So you can actually make your videos more engaging by changing stuff up, as simple as just zooming in or scaling some of the clips up and down. From there is where you dive into the effects. So if there's clips that you've brought in that you want to speed up or slow down, we can select them here in the timeline, come down the bottom here to speed. And you can see that we can either come to our basic options, regular, where we can speed things up. So anything higher than 1 will make it faster. Anything less than 1 will slow it down. There's also more advanced controls and stuff in here as well with preset motion adjustments here. I'm not diving deeper into that in this, but we do have a deep dive tutorial on VN and even a more advanced training as well, which I will link in the description box below. So that's your speed control to speed stuff up and down. Now, in terms of other effects and things, as we scroll across the bottom, you'll see the types of things that you can do in here with different zooms, auto captions, all of that kind of stuff. We can reverse our clip so it plays backwards. We could create a freeze frame so that it pauses or stop. If we need to just hold the video still for a period of time, we can easily do that. But if we come back, there's also a dedicated effects area. If we press FX on here, then you can see swiping through, we've got different things like a spin or a drop. And some of these just look like transitions. Others are actual effects and things that we can add on here, different looks. So this one here, like a flashing beat.
Frame positioned correctly so that it's in
Soul, black and white, like a strobe light. Different glitch effects. So you can see just swiping across here, there's so many to choose from. Most of them are free. You will come across some here, like this camera focus one that does have the little crown on the bottom there, which does mean it's only available on the paid plan. But unlike most other apps, this one gives you access to most of the stuff for free. Once we're done with the effects, next we're going to look at the audio side of things. So bringing any music or sound effects. So we can come up here where it says tap to add music, and we can choose music, sound effects, or we can easily record our own voiceover in here as well. So I'm just going to choose music now, and there are some music tracks in here that we can use. Now, what I would recommend is that you are fully owning the license of anything that you're putting out, so the music in this case. And this is where we like services like Artlist and Epidemic Sound. That's where we go for music for our videos. So you can either use some that are in here now, or if you are going to get them from Artlist or Epidemic or another service, then we can come over here to My Music, and that's where we can import them in here. I'm just going to grab one from the library here. Let's choose a vlog track, and let's choose Island Joy. Why not? So we can play through the song here and preview that. And when we've found one that we like, we can press use. We can choose, do we want to bring the whole track in? Or again, we've got those markers, so we can just choose the section of the track that we want to bring in. We can also adjust our volume. We can add a fade in and a fade out easily here as well. So if we don't want this just playing and we want it to come in quietly or fade out at the end, we can adjust those here. And then we can press the tick to bring that in. Again, it comes through as its own clip on its own separate layer. And if we scroll across to the end, you can see that in here, it's automatically cropped the track, the music track, to finish at the end of our video. I love that feature. Next up, we're going to adjust our volume levels so that everything sounds the way that we want it. I'd recommend that you're doing this with headphones on so that you're getting a good representation of what this actually is going to sound like. But with this, we want to get the volume levels right on our spoken piece first, and then we want to bring our music to the right level where it's right for us. So I'm going to select our music track, and we're going to mute that for now. So I'm going to select it, come down the bottom here to volume, and I'm just going to mute it. I'm going to press mute and apply that. And then I'm going to select our first clip in the timeline here of me speaking, and I'm going to come across to volume. And this is where VN does a really good job of adjusting this for you. And I very rarely need to make volume level adjustments on our primary clips. But if you do need to make it louder, we can increase this slider. If we need to make it quieter, we can drop that down as well. And once you're happy with any adjustments you're making in here, we can go apply to all, and that's going to make those adjustments for all of our clips in that timeline. Exactly the same for our B-roll clips here as well. If there was music or sound or something in these clips, we can mute those. We can adjust the volume from that too. You can see with that selected, down the bottom here, we've got a volume setting for that too. So I might turn this right down. And then lastly would be the music adjustment. So again, same process, select on it, volume, and let's unmute it. And what I normally find for music is somewhere around 30 is a great starting point, depending on the track and how loud or quiet you actually want the music. And then we can apply that when we've got that right. Once that's done, this is where we jump into making it look pretty. This is really the sprinkles on the icing on the cake. So we select our first clip again. We always work on the first clip first. And then we want to come across to where it says filter. Now, think of these like Instagram filters that you could apply. There's lots of different preset looks in here that if you find something you like the look of and looks good enough for you, feel free to run with that. If we do select one, we can then jump across to adjust, and we can tweak that and make adjustments to refine that and customize it up a bit. Or if we come back to filter, let's just turn this off. So we just choose original. We can actually make adjustments in here without needing to start with a filter. Now, the quick process for in here, I would always start with exposure first. So that's really the brightness. Do we need to brighten it up or darken it down a bit? Then I would jump across to the color temperature. So do we need to make it look a little bit more blue, cooler, or do we need to make it look a bit warmer by adding more yellow or orange? From there, I would go to contrast. And again, this is something you can play around with for you, but I would be doing it in this order. And we can make it more contrasty or take some contrast out. Might be hard to see on this recording here, but let's add a little bit more. And then I would look at the saturation and the vibrance here. So how intense the colors are. You see if we dial this up, it's probably a bit much, but we can also go the other way and take the colors right out. So there's only minor adjustments here, maybe something like this. And then if you want to preview a before and after, you can just tap on the top of the screen there. So that's before, this is after. And again, we've got the option here to apply this to all. So now all of those clips look like this. Now to share or to save this file out, up in the top right corner, we're going to press the blue share button. And you can see we've got options here for auto or manual. Again, for most people, auto is going to be fine. But if you do want something specific, you can jump across to manual and you can tweak the settings here. So if you don't want a 4K video, we can drop it here to 1080 or 720. We can make adjustments to the frame rates here if you need to. And also the quality, which will affect the file size of the video as well with this bottom one here. And you can see that if we increase this bottom one, it's going to give us an estimated file size. I love that it does that. But I'm just going to leave this here on auto. We would hit export here now, and that's going to save our video out to our phone's photos or camera roll. So that is the step-by-step process. Again, you can use that same process no matter which app or tool you are using. Don't forget to download our free PDF and AI prompt to help you do this when you're editing your videos. It will literally step you through step-by-step exactly what we just covered. And as always, check out the links in the description box below. We've got a bunch of other resources down there to help you even further. I'll see you in the next video.